S&P 500 Nasdaq is at 52-week highs, while Dow Jones is at records. Junk debt also hit a 52-week high. We'll look at that. Small caps had an enormous surge today, and they are back into an uptrend. I think stocks could easily rally more towards the record highs. We will give two trade examples, one for Salesforce and another one for Affirm Holdings, both big wins for the subscribers, so stay tuned for that. Gold is at records, and I mean all-time records, but dollar is sending mixed messages, so I'm still not sure who to believe, gold or the dollar. And we will look at Bitcoin as it continues to move higher. So if you are holding Bitcoin, congratulations, I am holding Bitcoin myself. All this and more in today's edition of MasterChartsTrading.com Market Recap for Friday, December 1st, 2023. As always, your likes, your retweets or reposts is what keeps this channel going. So don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. If you are a subscriber, stay tuned. We will have quite a bit of stocks to cover. For example, crude oil, natural gas are on the members only section. Lots of various ETFs such as ARK Innovation, BOTZ, mortgage REITs are emerging, and real estate actually as well. Bond ETFs are doing pretty well. We'll look at various foreign ETFs as well as large cap stocks. For example, we're going to look at AT&T. Interesting patterns for Home Depot, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America, and lots of various small cap and speculative investments stocks such as Vornado Realty, big win as well. Asana, Airbnb, nice move there. Goodyear tires is coming up an interesting pattern. As well, we will look at various gold related such as gold miners, junior gold miners, and Wheaton Precious Metals, to name a few. If you are not yet a subscriber, consider signing up by going to MasterChartsTrading.com. Throughout the presentation, I will be using my proprietary MasterChartsTrading.com price action indicators. You can see them on this chart. They're green, blue, red, and yellow line. They are available for this interface, which is called TradingView.com. All you gotta do is open a TradingView account. Once you do that, I will open the door for you after you sign up on my site, and you will have my indicators on your chart. S&P 500 is within, I don't know, a fraction of a point next to 52-week highs. So this is right here where I'm hovering. It's 27th of July. The high was at 45.37. I'm sorry, the high was at 4607.07. And today, on Friday, 1st of December, the high was at 4599.39. So we're like a fraction of a point away from 52-week highs. So this is obviously good news. I mean, if we see 52-week highs, just this pattern, I'm gonna draw it in. So this is a kind of very straightforward pattern. It's a depth from the highs in July to the lows in October to again the highs here in November. The depth of this pattern is around 12%. So an immediate target for the breakout, should we see a move above this 52-week highs, is somewhere in the vicinity of 400 or about 500 points. So 40. We're looking at 5,000, 5,100. If this pattern that I just showed to you, this kind of move up from the April into July, then move down back into October lows, and now back to November highs today. So the depth of this pattern is around 12%. So we're looking at about a move towards 5,100 or so. So that would certainly put us over the previous all-time highs that occurred back in January of 2022. So when or if that happens, we can actually go to the weekly charts as well. So weekly just means each candlestick is a week's worth of activity. So here is the pattern that I just drew out, which was from the highs in July to the lows in October to the new highs in November. Okay, now a bigger pattern, of course, is if we take out the highs that were set back in January of 2022. So the bigger pattern is this, and when we get to the highs, then it will be complete. So this pattern has an actually even deeper size. So we're looking at the highs from January 2022 to the lows in October 2022 to the potential highs sometime in January of next year, or maybe even in December of this year. We're looking at the depth of the pattern of around 1,300 points. So as I have pointed this out before, if we see a breakout above the previous highs, we can anticipate a move of about 1,300 points, maybe 1,000 points, towards S&P 500 of 6,000 or 6,200. I think into 2004, early 2005. So relatively bullish prediction, obviously, but I think the first things first is that we need to break above the previous 52-week highs, and we are already doing just that. So I'm going to show you S&P 500 ETF SPY, and it is already at new 52-week highs. Why? Is because it has dividends. The previous chart I showed you, SPX itself, it's just the index with no dividends. So it's slightly less than S&P 500 ETF SPY, which has the dividends. And to adjust it for dividends, so it's where I'm hovering, it says ADJ. So you can click it and it will be adjusted for dividends. If it's unclicked, if it's black, that means it does not have the dividends added in. But if I click on that, it becomes blue. That means there's dividends added into, and notice that we're at new 52-week highs today. So we are, I think, off to the races. If I am correct, once again, we could see a substantial move higher. I don't know if it's going to happen immediately, if we're going to get a pullback. Anything is possible, but I think it's quite possible, very, very reasonable to expect a move higher towards all-time highs and beyond. Nasdaq actually hit 52-week highs last week. Here's a high from Monday the 20th of November, and that's a 52-week high. And actually this week on the 29th of November, a couple of days ago, we also hit a new 52-week high right there. Again, very good news. New highs are good for the market. It implies a presence of buyers, and it shows strength of a particular ETF or a particular security that we're trading. It does not necessarily mean we're going to get a pullback, because yes, it is overbought. We can put, for example, RSI, relative strength index, and yes, it will show as overbought. I'm going to show it to you just a second. So there. So on this chart, I put in RSI, relative strength index, and yes, sometimes it becomes overbought. Like for example, where I'm hovering, I'm gonna kind of make it a little brighter. It's kind of hard to see. Anyways, for example, here back in July, it was, RSI was becoming overbought, yet stocks just continued higher. Yeah, we're overbought on various momentum indicators, but again, does not mean we're going to pull back. Also, overbought means strong. Means people are interested in owning a security. Dow Jones DIA broke two new 52-week highs. These are new 52-week highs, so we can look at Dow Jones. Here is DIA. I take that back. It is not a 52-week high. It's an all-time high. Okay, it's a record, all-time record high. We're breaking out to new highs, so I think we are doing what I'm expecting, which means that we're going to see a significant melt-up of stocks. Not necessarily right away, but I think we can expect a move higher for stocks from here. So this is an actual alert sent to my subscribers on the November 3rd, and it's already a very nice move. So you can lock in the gains 6.5% for Dow Jones. And today small caps moved higher, significantly moved higher. Notice this big green candlestick today. Additionally, notice that we closed above the blue support resistance line, so this is our signal to start buying. Notice before we were basically buying at that level. However, the last opportunity did not work out in our favor from September, but I think this one might just work out really well because like this is a very the small cap. So I'm looking at IWM in a weekly chart right now. I'm going to zoom in. So notice this relatively large consolidation pattern that began sometime in June of 2022, and we see the zigzag pattern up and down, low in June 2022, high in August 22, low again in October 22, high again in January of 23, another low in March 23, another high in July 23 of this year. Finally, a low here in October of this year, and now a surge. And we actually have a signal to buy right now. So I would be thinking about buying because I think if we break out above the previous highs, I mean 1, 2, 3 clearly defined tops. The latest one was here in July. I think a breakout above those levels could again. So again, this is the depth of this pattern. I'm going to draw it in once again. So that's the depth of this pattern. It's about 24%. So if small caps IWM break out to new highs above the previous peaks, we could expect another 20% move on small caps. And that's most likely going to put us over the top of previous records. So very bullish scenario seems like it wants to unfold. And now we're looking at junk debt high yield bonds, ticker symbol JNK. Junk debt high yield bonds are important to the health of the general stock market because of the correlation of high yield bonds to the stocks. And notice this correlation coefficient down below here is very positive. Currently, stocks and high yield bonds are doing the same thing each week at about 82% rate, which is very high. So notice that junk debt actually broke out above the previous into new 52-week highs before stocks. Okay, so S&P 500 is just now trying to break out, while the junk debt broke out 4 weeks ago in late October. So notice again 52-week highs for junk debt. We are approaching. This is a total return index. Again, where it says ADJ, it's adjusted. I can uncheck it, and notice it's completely different. But even if you just look at the actual underlying security, we're breaking out above the blue line. So overall, we're now back into an uptrend for high yield bonds. And high yield bonds are not only in an uptrend, they're leading stocks higher. So good news, in my opinion. This is good for stocks. We are now looking at a couple of trades that we did here at Master Charts Trading. And this is one I wanted to highlight. Ticker symbol CRM, also known as Salesforce. So Salesforce began its uptrend per my system right there on March 2nd of this year when it closed above the blue line. That's really all I needed to know. I didn't really need to know anything about earnings or anything of that nature. And then it kind of just traded somewhat up, and then it pulled back towards this blue line right there where I'm hovering. Again, you can have the same indicators on your chart. And there's the actual alert sent to my subscribers on October 30th of this year. Immediately, notice the move higher in our favor. Today, the stock closed 32% higher or so than we entered back in October. We entered around 198, 200. It's now close to 260. So this is a nice 32% gain. Congratulations to subscribers. How did I know about this? I didn't. I'm looking at the chart itself, and notice you're seeing the same thing that I'm seeing. So pull back towards the blue line, close above it right there on the 30th of October, and now a surge higher. All we needed to do is just buy here on October 30th. Another stock we were trading, it's called Affirm Holdings. This one actually is an even more powerful move, and this is a speculative type of investment or stock, whereas Salesforce is a very large stock. Affirm Holdings is relatively new. So why? Okay, so I'm looking right now at the weekly chart of Affirm Holdings. At some point in the past, in November 2021, it went as high as $172. So I knew that people kind of at least somewhat wanted it, but then something happened and it completely collapsed. In fact, as early as the beginning of this year, it was at all-time lows at about $8. It traded sideways more or less most of the year until finally it began to break out. And that's really, again, all I needed to know is that right there on the week of August 28th, it broke out above the blue line. Okay, so basically at this point, we might as well just buy right there where I'm hovering. However, for some reason, I wasn't really following this stock, and we got a second opportunity when this initial surge ended, and we kind of sold off into October. I sent an alert on October 18th. We traded sideways for a little while, but then it just took off like a rocket. And today it closed 90% higher. So if you bought from my alert back in October at around 1930, today it's at 37, so almost 100% gain. Especially if you used options, this could be easily 300-400% move in your favor or more. So again, congratulations if you're a subscriber. If you're not, sign up at masterchartstrading.com. There's also a description link in the video. Moving on to the dollar and the gold universe. So gold and dollar are important because XAU USD dollar or the gold is traded in dollars. So if this bottom part of this equation, US dollar, is getting weaker, stock, in this case gold, will move higher. Okay, so more or less from about mid-October, early November, dollar has been moving lower. Okay, in fact, it's trying to bottom here on the 29th of November. Gold, pretty much from that same time, maybe slightly earlier. So the beginning of the move was from 1st of November for the dollar. Beginning of the move for gold from the bottom actually was in from the 10th of November. But now this is actually an all-time high. We broke to new all-time highs today. So I'm going to show it to you. There it is. So new all-time high for gold was set today. It is excellent news for gold bulls. I am currently a little confused about what's happening. So dollar, technically speaking, is currently it broke out into new uptrend for the dollar right there on 26th of October. And I at that point, see, notice this arrow, notice this line with circles. I predicted we're going to get a pullback. We pretty much, I pretty much nailed where the pullback will take. I just thought that we're going to be rallying by now, but no, we actually dropped even further towards this critical level marked by the red line at around 102.5. So far, the dollar has held it, but it is a very tenuous hold, and I think if it breaks below this level, it would imply dollar is in a downtrend, and then gold is showing already that it is in an uptrend. But at this point, if dollar breaks below this red line, there will be no more doubt in my mind that we need to be buying gold-related assets. And in fact, we'll be talking about a lot of gold-related assets. Notice we're going to be talking about GDX, Agnico Eagle Miners, gold, Barrick Gold, and Wheaton Precious Metals in the members-only section. So stay tuned for that. So for now, I want to see this critical level either held or broken before I just make a full decision about gold. Gold does look bullish, like it wants to go higher. So we will keep that. We'll keep that in mind, but at the same time, I think I want to be open-minded towards worse than expected outcomes, and maybe gold is overextended right now. Might correct. Who knows what's going to happen? But we need to watch the dollar. There's also euro and British pound. We're going to be talking about in the members-only section. Let me add it in before I forget, because it's important for the fate of gold. So gold at new all-time highs. If you held on, if you bought, you just did nothing, you ignored my ideas and just simply bought using my indicators, notice that you would have been very good opportunities occurred right there at the blue line, and the latest one was actually right there on November 15th. So if you bought, congratulations, you should be probably holding for now. Finally, I want to finish up with Bitcoin, and this is a live chart. Bitcoin is traded 24/7. I bought Bitcoin myself. Just a second. I bought Bitcoin myself back in August, and then again back in October at around 27,000 or so. It is currently at 38,000, so it's a 47% gain, and it seems like it wants to go higher because this is a new high. So we're holding Bitcoin. Congratulations if you're still holding. If you're not yet a subscriber, head over to masterchartstrading.com, click on sign up on one of the products. I will have eventually yearly subscriptions here. If you don't see them yet, send me a message. It's basically you'll get 2 free months per year. So like, let's say newsletters are $39.95 per month, but if you sign up for the year, it will be $399.50. This link is not yet here, so just send me a message. I will eventually post it, hit contact, and sign up. So trading indicators are these lines on the chart. They're available for tradingview.com. You can have them on your chart once you sign up on my site, and you will have a free TradingView account. TradingView is free. You will have the same interface on your computer. It's a web-based interface. You don't need to install any software. If you want to just get my newsletters, then sign up for the newsletters. And then the best deal, of course, is to get both indicators and the newsletters. Newsletters are sent out daily, and I also send out a weekly members only video. So this week we'll cover various securities. You can see there's quite a bit of various stocks. We'll cover ETFs, large cap stocks, as well as speculative investments and gold related stocks. And that's it for this week's recap. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Your support to this channel is greatly appreciated. Share this video and enable notifications for this video channel. This is what keeps this channel going. Thank you again, and have another great trading week. Bye-bye.